Congratulations to everyone on the internet. I know times are tough out there. I don't scroll. I am slowly integrating myself kind of back into the world of social media, and I don't really, like my job is the news. I'm an editor, right? But like when I'm not working, like I very much make it a priority to not overwhelm myself with like everything that's happening outside of me. Like I've spent a long time, like years even, just kind of focusing on like what I can control, and it has changed my life, okay? Because I spent probably the first 25 years of my life living with a dysregulated nervous system, okay? I was all kinds of like unwell, and I have bipolar, okay? So like this is like why this is crucial to me. I have my AC on because it's hot out, so if you can hear it, I'm sorry, but so I have bipolar, and when I was about 20 years old, that almost kicked my ass. Well, not even almost, it did kick my ass. I could hardly function as a human being. Okay, and I was unmedicated at that time, and then I spent a few years on medication, and now I am unmedicated again by choice because I felt called to like stop that. I'm gonna tell this whole story in a second. I'm just kind of like setting the tone for what I'm gonna talk about here. So I was unmedicated, and it was very hard for me to function because literally fear was eating my brain. And this is why back in April of this year I started the War on Fear. Okay, because I think about how hard it was for me to live back then, and I'm gonna explain to you like exactly what I went through, just to like give people a better understanding of like all of this. But like it could have killed me. It very well could have been the thing to kill me. And now the crazy thing is I see some of it, like I see it killing a lot of people. I see a lot of young people, old people, just a lot of humans everywhere are losing the war on fear very badly. And I can understand why that might be happening, just because of, again, the chaotic times we're living in. But that is genuinely like my purpose in this life, is to help people transcend through these times, okay? So follow me, everything is all right, as Uncle Cracker once said. But okay. So I want to just kind of explain, and I don't want this to be like a woe is me sort of thing. Like I very much have like overcome like having a victim complex in this life. But I just want to like explain how hard life was for me before, so then you can see like, oh wow, this girl really figured it out, and like she has transcended anger. Okay, so when I was 20 years old, I fucked around and found out, okay? I was just not a very responsible person, and I put myself in bad situations, and bad things happened to me as a result because I just didn't take myself seriously. I didn't really give a shit about myself. So when I was 20, I was assaulted by multiple people at the same time, and that is obviously one of the most horrible traumas a person can endure and then like have to live with. And there's so much I can say about like how that impacted me personally, but basically like really the only way I was able to heal from that was like almost 2 years of celibacy until like I met my boyfriend, you know? So like that really like is what did it for me, because before that, if I tried to be intimate with anyone, it literally made me throw up. Okay, I did not have a normal sex life for years, you know, and that was because of like this trauma that happened to me, right? And so initially after this happened to me, I drank really heavily. I like abused substances. I tried to make my trauma other people's problems because I didn't know how to heal it, and no one really wanted to like tell me how to heal it because there is no like one size fits all way to healing, right? And so like again, I was so young, no one in my life had ever really like been through this before. I didn't have any like role models to like help kind of pull me. So for a few years I got really lost, and I was like what I call a hungry ghost. Gabor Mate has a book called In the Realm of Hungry Ghosts. There's a lot of wisdom in there. I think I have a video on my channel called In the Realm of Hungry Ghosts. Anyways, okay, so yeah, I was like lost in the sauce, and I was just like stuck, you know what I mean? Like there's a photo of a snake eating its own tail, okay? I was like that is like when you are stuck basically in the matrix. That's like the algorithm. That's what the algorithm looks like, is what I've been shown. And so I was stuck for a really long time, and it's like, you know, I wanted to free myself, but like not badly enough, you know. I couldn't be disciplined. Again, I was addicted to the fear because that was what had become comfortable to me. Like my nervous system, it was like used to being dysregulated, you know. So then even like no matter how hard I tried to like stay committed to like doing better, it was like I wasn't actually committed, you know, and that was the whole problem. Okay, so at my worst, like when fear was literally, so again, I'm bipolar, when my mania gets bad, it becomes OCD. And it becomes OCD in the form of like intrusive thoughts. So it's like my brain will cycle horrible, awful things just over and over and over on repeat, and it'll make my heart pound, and it'll make me like clench up, and just like you feel your stomach churning, like you're just unwell, you can't focus, you can't just sit and just be and trust that everything is okay. And like the kinds of thoughts that I would get would be like, I would be trying to like leave my house at like 8:30 in the morning so I can make it to school on time, or like write an exam, and then I would literally have to take a video of myself locking my door like every single day, because I was so paranoid that like if I left my door unlocked, that like my cat would get out, or like someone would break in, or like my, I don't know, just my house would burn down. I left my straightener on, like all of this shit. I would obsessively worry about this stuff, and again, it would make me sick in the head. Like I went like probably 3 or 4 days without sleeping at certain points, and I literally took myself to the hospital at one point. This was in 2021, I want to say, and it was just because like I'm psychic now, right? And I pick up energies and I hear things in my head, but it's not like scary bad energies, like it's not anything to be fearful. But when I was unwell, when like I was sick in the head because I was so afraid and just so like distrusting of life, I had intrusive thoughts in my head, and these are basically thoughts that it's like you can tell they don't belong to you, but you just obsessively think them, and like they just like snowball off of each other. So again, like I could not leave my house without fear of something bad happening. Like it was terrible. Like I really felt, I don't know if agoraphobia is the right word for it, but kind of like that guy in the Benchwarmers that hides in the closet and like is afraid to see the sun. Yeah. And then obviously when you're inside a lot these days, what do? You go online, and then it's so easy to become like, just create an echo chamber for yourself, right? Where then it's like everyone else is fearful, whatever, and then you just like create these online communities of like negativity and hatred, and like it's so easy to just like block someone if you don't agree with what they're saying, or even just like waste your time fucking arguing with them and throwing off your nervous system even more. And it's like, this is a pattern that people are just like stuck in these days. They are swallowing themselves whole. And it's like a vision I had recently is kind of like so when I was younger, like Tamagotchis were a really big thing, right? And so it's like social media is like a projection of your ego, right? So it's like, it can be a good thing, okay? I'm not just like bashing social media, but I'm saying like, okay, so there's like this little Tamagotchi that you've created, or this little like avatar of you, right? And it's like a character. And a lot of people these days, they are spending more of their time like caring for the Tamagotchi or the avatar than they are their actual human vessel. And that is why birth rates are declining and obesity rates are rising, okay? And I'm not saying that with hatred in my heart. This is a fact. This is truth. This is a pandemic, okay? And like, okay, it's something that I wrote this on my blog earlier today. I thought it was so good. I was like, okay, healthy, happy families are the future, okay? And the government is not going to create that for you. The Avengers, not going to create that for you. The aliens are not going to create that for you. So we the people, we have no choice but to create that amongst ourselves, to get together and feel all right and be the change we wish to see in the world, and to inspire one another and uplift one another, okay? So basically, like at this point, it's kind of like get busy living or get busy dying. And that is what the periods between the eclipses. There was an eclipse on the 7th, a full moon in Pisces, I think, and there's a new moon in Virgo on the 21st, okay? And in these 2 weeks, we're in the upside down, like in Stranger Things, and lots of crazy stuff has been happening in the world, as you've seen, and probably in your personal life, lots of crazy stuff has been happening. Me personally, I feel as though the 7 deadly sins has been like a theme in my life, right? And so it's like these things, like I spent probably, I think, the first 25 years of my life like really being faced with like situations where it's like I lost myself like in these 7 deadly sins, and then it's like I had to really like be like a phoenix rising and like overcome these things, right? And like rise above. And then so now it's like in this period of my life, it's like all of these sins are like coming back up, like maybe not even in myself, but just like in people that I love. And then I'm being shown like how transcendental I am, and how much wisdom and like knowledge and just like goodness I have like accumulated throughout my life to help me like not lose the war on fear, to be like the most sovereign I've ever been, the most independent I've ever been, and like the most connected to my divine purpose I've ever been, is how I want to phrase this. Okay. And so basically, so how I got from like the point of like not being able to leave my house without freaking confirming like having literally a video I could watch, because I would be in class and it was like my heart would be racing. I'd be like, oh my god, I need to leave, I can't be here, because what if my house burns down? Like I could not be in the present moment because I was so addicted to being afraid. And so now I literally, fear is like unnatural to my body. Like of course like emotions come up within me. I get sad, I get angry, I get overjoyed, I get jubilant, you know what I mean? But it's like what I'm gonna call this video is like, it's okay to be deeply affected by things, but you can't let them consume you. So that is what I had to do. I had to learn how to not be consumed. I had to like learn that, you know, I am not my thoughts. I am the thinker of my thoughts, okay? So it's like all these thoughts that come up, it's like I don't have to let them completely overcome me. I get to kind of like observe what they are and like challenge them. And I have a Ram Dass quote that I'm going to read in a second that actually will be a beautiful segue here. And like the reason why a lot of people can't like observe and accept things in others is because they cannot observe and accept things in themselves. Notice how I'm stuttering here? I don't know why, but I definitely feel I got real bad dry mouth right now. Okay, let me read from Mr. Ram Dass. So he says, when somebody provokes your anger, the only reason you get angry is because you're holding on to how you think something is supposed to be. You're denying how it is. Then you see it's the expectations of your own mind that are creating your own hell. When you get frustrated because something isn't the way you thought it would be, examine the way you thought, not just the thing that frustrates you. You'll see that a lot of your emotional suffering is created by your models of how you think the universe should be and your inability to allow it to be as it is. And so, as within, so without, right? So if you cannot accept yourself to be as you are, of course you cannot accept the world to be as it is. And so unconditional love, which is something I honestly, this is very sad to say, but a lot of humans have not experienced this, okay? But this is what I give. Okay, this is what I have learned to give. Unconditional love is to accept and respond to something exactly as it is. You do not try to change it. You do not try to manipulate it. You just accept and respond. That is love. That is pure consciousness. That is seeing like human to human. And we need more of that. So that is kind of like what I've been put here on earth to teach. Like anyone who's a Pisces Venus, and also I'm an Aquarius, and we're in the age of Aquarius. So like the next 18 years, like it's just, I'm in my guru era. But I'm also the student. Like I don't think I'm better than anyone else. I'm just like, I figured a lot of things out through like basically disappearing for a few years, and now I'm like back and ready to teach. So if you want to be a disciple, follow me. Okay, and I have one more Ram Dass quote that I want to read, and then we're going to talk about some tarot cards. And yeah, I don't know, there's been a lot that's happened in my life since I posted my last video, but I'll probably do a separate video to catch you up on that maybe, if I feel like it. Okay, so Ram, and he's Ram Dass, if you don't know, he's a great, very powerful spiritual teacher. He passed away in 2019. I started channeling him recently. He's a Pisces Venus. Maya Angelou, she's been coming to me too. Pisces Venus, just lots of that energy around, okay? And it's transcendental. So again, like a lot of people right now in the world, like everything that's happening, they see it and they're angry and they're angry and they're angry and they're angry and they're angry, and they think that that's gonna do something. And it's like, okay, like it's okay to be angry again, but you have to alchemize those feelings, and then you have to be the change you wish to see in the world. Because if you're just angry, like we're just gonna perpetuate this cycle that's been going on for eons and eons. But it's like you have to rise above. And so even if you are angry, you have to show people what it looks like to be angry and to love yourself at the same time. That just came to me from beyond. That was very powerful, because that's what I do. You know what I mean? I'm angry. I am angry about what happened to me when I was 20 years old. I'm angry the police didn't do shit for me. No one did shit for me. Okay, like it literally, I had to claw my way out of that. It was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. And there's lots of people, there's lots of men especially who are very, very, very angry that like women are being assaulted right now, because it's happening all across the world in like mass numbers, and it's fucked up. But these men, so they're angry about this, right? And it's like they want to go out and they want to yell and be angry and angry and angry, and they want that anger to be seen, right? But the thing is, like, so you can't just let your anger overtake your life. So it's like, okay, yes, you're angry about this, but then how are you making a difference in your community? Like, yes, okay, you're going out and you're yelling and you're yelling and you're yelling and you're protesting, but then what about when you interact with the people in your community? How are you connecting with them? How are you sussing out, okay, this person seems like maybe they could be like an unwell person or a bad person. Like, can I talk to them? Can I try and mentor them? Can I get them the help that they need, the support that they need, so that they don't hurt someone else? Because hurt people, right? And empowered people empower people. So how we make a difference really is like the government. We cannot depend on the government to change everything. Again, like I said, they're not going to create happy, healthy families for us. So we the people, we need to lean on each other. We need to like be more tolerant of each other. And it's like a lot of people, they're so isolated right now because they're just like, oh, this person thinks this way about this political thing, so I can never talk to them again. And it's like, That's a problem. Like, that just shows how little you can accept in yourself. Like, you need to accept that you contain multitudes. And okay, here's the next Ram Dass quote, actually. Wow, this is all flowing together pretty well. So, he says, a lot of people try to counteract the I am not good enough with I am good enough. In other words, they take the opposite and they try to invest it. That still keeps the world at the level of polarities. The art is to go behind the polarities. So the act is to go not to the world of I am good to counteract I am bad, or I am lovable as opposed to I am unlovable, but go behind it to I am. I am, I am. And I am includes the fact that I do crappy things and I do beautiful things, and I am. That includes everything, and I am. Contain multitudes. Marilyn Monroe came to me back around like Gemini season, and that's literally what she told me like a lot of the next few months would be about, like learning to contain multitudes within yourself so that you can accept it when others, you know, are not just two-dimensional. Because that's the thing, it's like a lot of how we're perceiving people is just like in the phone, which is a very 2D thing, right? So then in real life, like people I think sometimes have a hard time perceiving me because I am, you know, I've been shitty, and now I'm gonna say it, I'm supreme because I overcame the shittiness, and I'm still becoming more supreme. But it's like, I know that it is my natural nature to be supreme. It is my natural nature to be jubilant. It is my natural nature to be joyous, right? And as long as I am happy and I am creating and I am putting good out into the world, there is a chance that tomorrow can be better. But if I am sitting around on my ass on the internet, scrolling on my phone, complaining and consuming and comparing, then there's less of a chance that tomorrow could be better. You know, and there's more of a chance that I will repeat that pattern tomorrow and stay stuck eating my own tail instead of fucking skipping off into the sunset and walking 10,000 steps a day like Terry Fox taught me. You know? So it's like, even, and I know that's extreme. Like, that's kind of just something that, like, it changed my life, walking 10,000 steps a day. And, like, the past, I don't know, me and Calvin have just been adventuring so much. I haven't had time to walk 10,000 every day. But we did do the Terry Fox run the other day, and that was awesome. And yeah, so I'm just, like, because I know, like, that I am physically resilient, that makes it easier for me to be mentally resilient. Like, those two things, they go very closely together. And like, I'm not in perfect shape by any means, you know what I mean? But again, it's just like, I know that I am strong. I know that I can handle hard things. And a lot of people these days, they don't think that they can handle hard things. They just, again, put themselves in this little padded cell. And I have a really good quote that I think I saved on Pinterest about this. Oh. See, I have so much I want to say because it's been like a month and a half since I've spoken to you, the people. But I do hope what I have to say is helping someone. If not, it will definitely help me when I rewatch it. Sorry, I have so many boards. Here it is. Okay. When you expect fair play, you create an infectious bubble of madness around you. Because we are here, we are on Earth School, okay? So you need to transcend beyond the ego and like accept that crazy things are gonna happen to people, right? So like, for example, there was like something happened to that Ukrainian girl. She got stabbed like on a train or whatever. And again, because I don't really read the news, I didn't hear a lot about this. Like, my boyfriend was like really upset about it. And so as he's telling me this, like, I'm like, you know, something I said that like kind of upset him was like, I was like, oh, like, you know, this stuff like this has to happen sometimes. And then I literally said to him, I was like, I think more stuff like this is going to be happening over the next 2 weeks because the veil is very thin and people kind of need to wake up. And that was very, like, for him to hear that, it was very upsetting. It triggered a very big reaction, like, even to the point, like, he told me that, like, what I was saying was like Luciferian. And I was like, okay, so people become weaponized through their anger, you know what I mean? Like, they'll say very hateful things to you because it's like he couldn't understand where I was coming from. So when I say things like this have to happen, I don't mean that that girl deserved to die. I mean that her soul, like, that, to me, that speaks volumes. That speaks how powerful you are. If you go through horrible, traumatic things on this earth, like, that just means that, like, your soul, you sign a soul contract, right? And you are here to experience what you need to evolve to the next level. So when that girl reincarnates on this earthly realm, like, she's gonna be very powerful because her soul has that experience tucked in her, right? And like, even me, like, that's how I've been able to not be angry about the things that I have gone through, because I accept. Even I can look at my own birth chart and I can see, okay, I understand why this had to happen to me, because it was just written in the stars. I call it the cosmic ballet, right? You watch a ballet, it's not all happy and beautiful and pretty. fucking crazy things happen in ballets. There's dark guys, there's bad characters, there's evilness, because this is actually something Calvin told me. It's like Lucifer has dominion on earth, right? So it's like every single human being, you have free will. Okay, God loves you, but not enough to save you. So it's like God, he is up here, he's watching the cosmic ballet play out. He's saying, are you going to choose what's best for you, or are you going to stay stuck eating your own tail, right? And that is up to you. You have the power to make those decisions, right? And some people, it's like you have to put your hand on the stove and get burned a few times before you learn lessons. Like for me, that's why I ended up getting assaulted. Because I couldn't, like, I didn't learn how to be sovereign. I didn't learn how to, like, value myself and love myself enough to, like, rise above, like, just settling for shit that I didn't deserve, right? So I had to learn that lesson, and I learned it in a very hard way, right? And I accept that, you know? And so I could play the victim. I could sit on my ass and cry every single day, and I could choose not to love, and I could think that all men are horrible and blah, 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 and I could just be a miserable cow because something bad happened to me like 6 years ago. But I choose not to be. I know that because that happened to me, I am a very powerful person, and I take my anger and my rage, and believe me, there's a lot of it. I take that every single day and I alchemize it. I burn it up into greatness. Okay, and I do that through movement. I do it through creation. I do it through connecting with others. Like, I do it in so many different ways. And sometimes, occasionally, there are days when, like, I need to just let that anger out, and I let myself be angry, but I don't let it consume me. Because that is how you give your power away, right? That is how you become a weapon. You become weaponized by something like beyond yourself. And so you want to be sovereign, right? That's what I am. Sovereign, like, you know, the sovereign is like the queen or like King Charles, right? But then also think about like what does royalty do? They give people something to aspire to. And that is what we, the people, have to do for each other. And it's not about being better than anyone else. It's just about being so on your own path that like other people look at you and they're like, wow, like I need to figure, like I want to feel that way, right? Because it's not just about like the material things. You can't like just be like, okay, I'm gonna go and get everything Kim Kardashian has and then I'll be happy. It's like, no, you want to feel the way Kim Kardashian does. So that's like financially secure, like surrounded by family. Like, you know, you look at these things and it's the feelings you want. It's not the material things. And that's how you transcend from the 3D to the 5D. And I feel like I've been talking. I just pressed record and I just started going. So you might need to watch this a few times to get anything from it, but I'm getting a lot from talking about this. Oh, interesting, actually, as I just moved onto my Pinterest board and it says materialism is an identity crisis. And I think the next video I make, I'll talk more about identity crises, but there's, you know what, actually I'm gonna say something on this right now. So something that kind of came to me the other day is I was like, people who have not learned how to think freely for themselves in this energy, it's gonna be very hard for them. They're going to be very confused because, like, for example, like, I don't even want to get political in this video. I'm not even going to say anything about any of that. But it can just be confusing if it's just like camps that you've aligned yourself with, like suddenly, like, again, the veil is very thin. We're in the upside down and you're seeing like, oh, actually, like these groups are quite hateful and like low vibrational. And like, I don't really know if I'm aligned with that anymore. Like if you have been allowing yourself to be taught what to think by like influencers and celebrities and the government and whatever for like your whole entire life, like it's gonna be kind of scary and like hard for you if you don't know how to think for yourself, because that's what the age of Aquarius is all about. Like now more than ever we need original thinkers with original thoughts. Do you know why every single movie you go to the theaters, me and Cal went to the movie theaters a few months ago, every single movie poster was a sequel or a remake? Do you know why that's happening? Because we don't have people, original thinkers, thinking original thoughts. We have Attack of the Clones. And it's a problem. So, okay, the tarot cards I have here. The first one's, actually when I opened the deck, this one was at the top, this one was at the bottom. So, 8 broken cups. You leave your 8 cups behind and you're walking towards the sunrise, which is like people like me. I'm a Leo rising, Leo north node, so like my whole purpose in life again is to like act like the sun and be jubilant and radiant and like remind you to rise above the madness. So a lot of people are and again, I know that in 2020 and 2021, like during the pandemic, when I was very, very, very afraid and fearful and like thought I was going fucking insane, I went through that so that I could teach people in these times that we're living in now, where it's kind of like a repeat almost, to rise above the madness and see through the illusions, okay? And just see the truth. And the truth is God. The truth is like what's in your heart and your soul. And what's in your heart and your soul, it's not hatred, okay? One love. It's all about getting together and feeling all right, okay? Like, it's anger, that's a very, like, it's an egoic thing. Again, it's because you cannot accept how things are. And the only reason you can't accept how things are outside of you is because you can't accept how things are inside of you. Okay. And so this one also came out, the 10 of Wands, so it's like endings, right? So we're halfway through this little eclipse portal right now. We're seeing, I said this period would be like the Great Reset. Okay, so we're seeing a lot of things ending, a lot of new beginnings, and it can be scary. Admittedly, it can be scary, but just know that after the Tower comes the Star. This is what the tarot deck tells us, right? So, other cards that came out that we have here. Death, but I like this deck because it's not just death, it's also death and rebirth, right? So as I was saying, out with the old and with the new, right? So like after the new moon on September 21st, you're gonna feel like a brand new bitch if you're doing this energy right. But if you're just like sitting around and crying and moping and like being miserable about things that are out of your control, that's not doing anything for anyone. Like, girl, you're holding up the prayer line. Like, I'm sorry, but like, it's not. Like, you need to rise above. You need to be mentally and physically resilient. That's what we need in a new earth. We need happy, healthy people creating happy, healthy families. And that doesn't have to mean you get married and have babies. That just means like it takes a village to raise a child, right? So like we're connecting with each other within our communities. We're mentoring one another. It's very important. Ace of Cups, right? So this is what happens. It's a new beginning. So like after this, you see this like bright light here. To me, this is like the same thing. So those are just like the great creator. This is the great creator. You cannot see, even if so you're not a religious person, like on my Tumblr, I think I might post this link on Facebook. I haven't decided yet. But if you, like on Tumblr, when I talk about God is when I lose the most followers, which is so funny. I always think about Jesus Walks by Kanye West. He's like, when I talk about God, my record won't get played. I'm like, fuck, people, like, even on Facebook, I hadn't posted on Facebook in probably 3 years. Go on there, give like a cute, happy little life update. I lost like 5 friends. I'm like, wow, like tough times all around, hey? Like, damn. Not that I even care, like I didn't even check to see who it might have been or whatever, but like, I just think it's quite funny. Like, people are so set in their misery. Misery loves company, right? So then if they see you being happy and positive, like that is a threat to like their comfort. Because it's not even about like being angry. Like, I don't think that really feels good for anyone. I mean, sometimes it does for some people, like, but it's like, to me, it's harder to be angry than it is for me to like take the higher perspective. And it takes work. It took me a lot of training to get to where I am. But then now it's just like, I can see, it's like, yeah, I'm like holding the earth in my hands and I'm looking at it and I'm seeing, I'm like, this is all what it is, and it is perfect exactly as it is. It is the cosmic ballet. It's playing out exactly as it should. And a lot of it is out of my control. So why am I going to make myself sick and miserable and depressed worrying about things that are out of my control? All I can control is how I feel and like my direct sphere of influence, right? So like, obviously I'm going to do everything I can to check on my people. And I have been doing a lot of that lately, actually. That's what I love a lot about my boyfriend. Like, he cares a lot about the city that we live in. And so he's always like introducing me to people and just like giving me opportunities to do cool things. Like, I told him, like, I was like, do you know of anywhere in the city that does like self-defense classes or anything? Because that's something like, obviously, so I was assaulted when I was 20, right? Again, I've said that like 3 fucking times now, but it's the truth. It is my story. It's my lore. And so after that, you know, like, again, I could have leaned into the complex of like, oh my God, all men are evil and scary. And like for a few years, like my body did do that. Because again, I couldn't even have like intimacy naturally. But then now it's like, look at me now. I'm like, okay, I want to learn how to defend myself, like physically, like be able to kick some fucking ass in case, God forbid, I'm ever put in a situation again. Because when I was 20 years old, I was weak as shit. You know what I mean? Like, I was just like, yeah, I didn't know, like, obviously I stopped the situation, but like there wasn't any physical violence or anything, but still, it's like now it's just like I would never even get in a situation like that because I got hands, motherfucker, and I have a brain. I have a fully developed frontal lobe. So yeah, anyways, it's gonna be taught by a former police officer and a black belt karate person. But yeah, my boyfriend saw, like, he heard me talk about that and he literally signed us up for a class, you know. And so he's always like, he's helping me become better, and I do the same thing for him, and it's really beautiful. I love our relationship a lot. I'll probably get him in a video with me at some point because we do love to talk. Okay, and then so once we go through death and rebirth, so I've spent the last like year or so building the root chakra of a new earth. You're welcome. You're welcome. That's what we divine feminines have been doing. And so it is strong and sturdy, but also it's like an old earth is kind of like dying. right? So then it's like, as you move into a new earth, like the first thing you're going to want to do, you see there's a lot of red and orange here, your root chakra. You need to feel safe. You need to feel safe in knowing that you contain multitudes. And then you can feel safe in knowing that the world contains multitudes, because the world, Mother Earth, she's not going to stop that. She is air, earth, wind, fire. She's everything, everywhere, all at once, right? And so are you, because you are nothing but a fragment of her. Okay, so you just need to learn to accept that within yourself, and then you can accept it on a grander scale. And so look at this girl. She's very passionate, you know? She's just like, she's feeling herself. She's feeling confident. She's like, you know what? I know who I am. Ain't nobody gonna tell me who I am. Nobody needs to sell anything to me. I'm accepting life as it is. I'm having fun. And you know what, actually, so I think like a lot of people, they think they need like an Ozempic prescription to feel this way, or like an antidepressant or something. And like, if that works for you, great. Like, I take Vyvanse. That works for me to like help with my ADHD. But anyways, like, I think in a new earth and things that I really like, healing modalities I love, are like things that are free, right? So like, notice, like, as soon as I pulled this card, I saw this horse galloping, and I thought about music. Like, when I'm sad, I don't like to sit around and listen to sad music, because that's some low vibe shit. I like to put on like happy fucking music that makes me feel like I'm a horse galloping through a field, and like go for a long walk and like move my body and alchemize those feelings through me, right? Even color therapy. So like, look into like study the colors of the chakras, right? And like, so if you are feeling not confident, wear yellow. Yellow is the solar plexus, right? If you want to feel sexy, wear orange. If you want to feel safe, wear red. Green is the heart chakra, right? So it's just like, you can use colors, or you can even like look at colors, or like aromatherapy, all these natural things, these easy ways to heal yourself, right? People are going to be very, very into that again over the next like 5 to 7 years is what I predict. Okay, so you want to be feeling like that. And then the King of Pentacles, right? So then this is maybe like on the material side. Like, once you feel safe spiritually, then the universe will know that it's safe to give you the material things, because it knows that you're not going to squander them, because your nervous system is dysregulated. So you feel like you need to go fuck your life up after a week of like working 80 hours. That's just not going to happen in a new earth. That's not the way it's going to work, okay? It's time for something new. Nothing changes if nothing changes. And so we the people, we gotta change. As my good friend, I had a Sheryl Crow summer, and as she once sang, a change would do you good. Okay, so get into it. Be not afraid of change. Real quickly, to wrap this up, I'm gonna pull some of these like raise your vibration cards and see if we can get any wisdom from those. But I'm feeling a lot lighter after having gotten all this out of me. There's still so much I want to talk about, and I'm sure that will continue to change. Your mind is an altar to source energy, right? Oh, that's powerful, actually, because like I was saying, like, you become a weapon if you are angry. So if you're angry, it's like you're closing off your third eye, you're closing off your crown chakra, and then you cannot get those divine downloads. You're not in connection with God, you are in connection with the lower vibrational energies. So those are the Luciferian energies. And fear is a Luciferian energy for sure. And a lot of people are addicted to that. So rise above. And let's talk about the colors on here real quick. So the yellow, that's the solar plexus, like I talked about. So be confident. Be confident in knowing that you can transcend anger, and be confident in knowing that anger will ruin your life. Fear will ruin your life if you let it, okay? Just saying. And then purple. The purple is the crown chakra, right? So and that's royalty. Purple is the color of sovereignty. Yeah, so just be a queen. Don't be a drag, just be a queen. That's what I'm saying, okay? And like me, like saying all this stuff, like I don't want anyone to think I'm preaching. I don't want anyone to think that I think everyone needs to be like me. I'm not an influencer. I'm like Jesus, okay? I want people to be my disciples, and I want them to see how I've changed my life, and then know that it is possible for them too to change their lives, and for them to contain multitudes, because I sure have been about 1 billion different people in this life, and I'm probably going to be 1 billion more, and I'm going to love everyone. Devotion unites me with the infinite, right? So your devotion to yourself, your devotion to your higher purpose. Something that came to me on one of my walks the other day is that if you want to feel like the main character of your life, you have to be mission oriented, right? And so like me, for example, like I go out walking, and like people probably look at me and they might even have a little giggle. They're like, wow, that woman is on a mission. And it's like, yeah, I am. I'm on a mission to get my 10,000 steps, because that makes me feel good about myself and feel good about life. And then I can be the change I wish to see in the world, right? And like, that's really what it's all about. It's like quick maths, very simple. And some people, let's go back to the start there. I said some people might laugh at me because I'm out walking. And that is why a lot of motherfuckers don't exercise these days, because they're so worried someone's going to laugh at them or judge them. And that is those Luciferian energies beating your ass, because you are losing the war on fear. It's sad to see. We hate to see it. I've been there too, though, right? So it's just like, be not afraid. Be not afraid of other people's judgment. Be not afraid of your own judgment. And then, like, so judgment, like, a lot of humans, I need to make a whole video about this, are stuck in the guilt and shame cycle, right? So you need to, again, transcend beyond that and know that you are not your thoughts themselves. You are the thinker of your thoughts. You are all powerful. You can create reality. So if your thoughts, if they're negative, if you want to change that and change your reality, all you have to do is shift your perception and say, okay, I am not these thoughts. I am the thinker of these thoughts. And like, let me go beyond what these thoughts are telling me and then see the wisdom in it. So what does this say? My aura is magnetic to golden opportunities. So fortune favors the bold, chance favors those in motion, right? So if you are in the thought, like you're perceiving reality of like, oh my God, life sucks, nothing good is ever gonna happen, the earth is gonna die, like blah, 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 you're not gonna attract golden opportunities with that mindset, right? But if you are of the mindset, like I have the power to be the change I wish to see in the world, I can make a difference in my community, like I can actually do something with my life, then you can attract golden opportunities. And then once you attract those for yourself, you can give back to others. That's how we create generational wealth, people. That's what it's all about. Again, happy, healthy families. That's what we're doing. You gotta think 7 generations ahead. But most people are just like, oh my God, the earth is dying. Earth, she has told me this, okay? She will continue to go on even if humans die out. It's very egoic of us to think that like we will be the thing to kill her. It is safe for you to shine. Know that, okay? And know also that it's not up to you to play God. Okay, so it's not up to you. You're not going to get into heaven because you have the best wisecrack condemning people who are on the opposite side of the political spectrum of you. Okay, like you're not. You're going to get into heaven for making a difference in your community, for being a good person, for shining bright like a motherfucking diamond. What does this say? Your sensitivity is a gift, okay? So be not afraid of your feelings. Let them come up. But again, it's okay. It's okay to be deeply affected by things. Just don't let them consume you.